If you want to speak worldwide and you are afraid of having anxiety when you speak, here are some nervous reactions you could potentially have and how to overcome them, okay? Welcome to Speakers Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas and Lily Patrascu. Discover how to become a charismatic speaker and leader so you can attract ideal clients and business collaborations. If you have a dry mouth, what you should do is drink water before speaking, and also have 2 liters of water in a jar that is accessible close to you. Now, what I find is that when I'm speaking, even if it's just 90 minutes, I become incredibly thirsty. And it's so important to have that water there, because if I don't, I would literally be unable to continue speaking, because for whatever reason, I continuously find that I have a dry mouth. Okay. Now, if you have.
Okay, so lucky, Lily, that you always give me the bottle of sparkling waters and put it next to the next to the stage when I'm speaking. I'm trying to remember to put the water to you also. Sometimes I do, sometimes I forgot, but I'm trying my best.
Now, the other thing is that I don't do, but I really recommend that you do, is that I tend to drink sparkling water, and when you do, you may end up burping sometimes, and it has
We
happened.
both do that.
So,
We both drink sparkling water when we are speaking, something that you shouldn't do.
And really, you should drink normal water without bubbles to prevent that from happening. Okay. Another thing that may happen is you may get butterflies in your stomach, and how you can overcome that is, as Harry mentioned earlier, by breathing. And the other thing that I believe could calm you down is to listen to some Mozart or some classical music. Another type of music that could be relaxing is manifestation music. You can type that up in YouTube, because I find that because it's very relaxing and there are no words to the music, it will be easier to relax. The third type of music that I think could be relaxing, that could settle your butterflies in your stomach when you're trying to speak, is to listen to rain music or piano music. And I find that it's easy for me not only just to speak on stage, but also to write, just to be more in flow for anything that I'm doing. So in particular for stage speaking, it could be incredibly helpful for you to calm down and to relax. And because of that, you are able to remember essential elements while you're speaking. A third thing that may happen is you may freeze. You may literally forget everything you were about to cover, and that is incredibly normal. Now, to prevent that from happening, you should go for a short walk before you actually speak. Or the other thing you could do is bounce, jump a little bit in the air, because that will enable you to breathe better. And because you're breathing better, then your brain has the oxygen. And because of that, you will be able to remember, because the fact that you're freezing is caused by fear, and the fear somehow makes it so that you may freeze. But there's a very easy solution for that. The more you move, the more you will find that you are regaining your knowledge that you had prepared for the specific event. If you are feeling lightheaded, okay, ensure that you eat a meal, but ensure it's not too big of a meal.
Yeah, should be low in carbs, carrots, a little bit of cucumber, something really, really light. I tend to don't eat when I'm speaking in the whole day. I'll because otherwise make me slow, and and you will realize that if you don't eat, you're gonna have more energy, and you're gonna be very, very sharp, especially if what you're doing is a high intense workshop. So I don't eat anything, but I'm used to. Okay, if you need to eat something, I would recommend a little bit of carrot, a little bit of cucumber. Definitely nothing with high carbs when you're on stage, because when you're on stage, you're releasing a lot of energy. You're gonna need that energy, and if you are eating with a lot of sugar, with a lot of carbs, that will definitely slow you down. And if your energy goes down, the energy of your audience goes down, and can have a terrible impact.
Yes, and the other thing I find is, for example, if you eat pasta or rice or something that contains a lot of carbs, like Harry said, it could actually make you very slow, or it could even make you sleepy. And I don't think the audience will appreciate that.
Yeah,
So,
remember, when you're preparing an event, it's just not that day. You have been looking after your selling team and your marketing materials and all the process to fill the event. And then after you have to do the event, you have to wake up very early. You have to take the car there, make sure that all the logistic is there, arrive to the hotel probably 2 3 hours before the event to make sure that all the setup is in place, the microphone works, the music works, everything, the lights work, if the AC is working, your PowerPoint. So you already more exhausted, more hours on the clock than actually the audience. The audience just wake up and they just gonna attend to your event. You're already 3 hours earlier on the move, and then you do have to deliver the presentation. So it's a very high energy, high intensity. Um, what you have to do as a performer. Therefore, you cannot afford exactly what Lily was sharing with you. Eat pasta or eat any bread or any carbs, because all this tiredness, it will show up straight away, and your audience definitely will feel it.
the thing is, I tend to have 3 showers a day in general. Okay. But definitely the day of the event,
Me
even if
too.
you have to wake up at 5 a.m., you still should have a shower, even if you had a shower the night before. Because what I find is that you need to sometimes set up the room, or you may need to move some chairs, that may be something that you didn't expect to be doing, and there may be some physical activity that you may have to do depending on how large your team is, of course. And you have to plan for that. You have to be smelling good, because what I find is that after a few hours of being so nervous about my presentation and having 5 coffees in the course of 2 hours, then I do tend to sweat quite a lot. And then it's so important to be showered, to be properly showered, to wear deodorant, because if you don't have a shower and then you end up
Oh
speaking
God, if you
to people,
smell, forget it. Forget it. If you smell,
smell bad, you will knock yourself out.
oh,
Not to mention the
that's no
audience.
good. That never happened to us, but oh my God, this is a no. You have
Yeah,
to.
and actually, it's so important. Okay, and I have seen some people who clearly hadn't had a shower, and it really ruins the experience. Okay, you could be the most knowledgeable person that anyone has ever met, but if you stink, people are going to be remembering that, and that's not what you want, I'm sure. The other
You
thing,
can bring some deodorant and some perfume,
yeah,
but definitely take a shower before going to speak on the stage, because you will sweat for sure
yes.
before the event.
The other
Guarantee
thing,
you will
yeah.
do sweat.
The other thing is to know also what to wear. Because, for example, if you wear too many clothes, because, for example, it's very cold outside right now. It's in winter, let's say it's very cold. Let's say it's -3 degrees, or it could be even, even colder. So, of course, you're going to be wearing clothes for the suitable weather. But then when you're in a hotel, like a luxury hotel where you're going to run the conference, you're going to need lighter clothes, because typically the hotel will have a very nice temperature there. And then if you'll do some physical activity, coordinating the entire team, depending on how big the event is and so on, I find that even in a room of 50 people, sometimes, if I haven't coordinated everything well enough, or if, let's say, I've had a change in numbers of people last minute, which can happen a lot, I would say most of the time it does happen, I find myself ultra sweaty. Even half an hour before the people have arrived, I'm like sweating profusely, just because I'm having to like set up, like the cameras and all these different things. Now, of course, if you have like the team doing that, you'll be sweating a lot less. But if you have to do everything, then you will definitely be sweating. And so you have to be you can say you have to prepare for wearing less clothes than you would normally do, even if the weather is really cold outside. But also you have to be prepared for the temperature that you're going to have in the room. So for example, typically the temperature of the room tends to be about 19 degrees. And that's, as I remember, I think Harry always set it for that.
We usually found at 24 degrees Celsius, and we used to turn into 19.
Exactly. So I find that even if I'm setting it for this particular temperature, which is a lot colder than I like, what I tend to do is I still sweat profusely. So plan and coordinate, you can say, everything you're going to do so that you are dressed appropriately and you are not sweating more than you really need to. The other thing is, if you have trembling hands, what I would do is perhaps try to calm yourself in the bathroom by doing some jumps and then by breathing. And I think that should reduce the trembling hands. And as you are coming on stage, take a posture, a power posture of confidence. And when you do that, you are also less likely to have trembling hands.
To sum up, be careful what you eat, be careful what you wear, drink a lot of water, and stay positive when you're speaking on the stage. Bye for now.
Follow us for more charismatic speaker and leader tips.